welcome the fact that the government recognised that it's now fighting recession more than inflation. Inflation will come down next year. The Bank of England has changed its policy from being far too loose, a policy which was fueling the inflation, to a tough policy now which will bring those prices down. And we're seeing some relief at last on world markets. The price of oil is down by about a third from its peak. The price of wheat is down by about 30% from its peak. So there's some relief coming. We need to then see that pass through to customers, which will probably be next year rather than this. So we need to fight recession, and that requires putting more money back into the bank accounts and pockets and purses of consumers in the country. We can't afford the energy bills, so there's been a very big package to deal with that. And the taxes were too high, so cancelling the national insurance surcharge and taking some money off the income tax bills is very welcome to fight that recession.
John, there's been a reaction to the fact that the pound has dropped very low against the dollar. I mean, is that something that people should be concerned about, or is it actually good for our exporters?
Well, it's happening to all the major currencies of the world against the dollar. The yen has fallen even more this year against the dollar than the pound has. The euro has fallen a lot against the dollar as well. We don't want it to get out of control, but all the time America has decided on having ultra-tough money policy now to curb their very nasty inflation. They've got a Federal Reserve Board central bank saying they now want a recession in order to flush inflation out of the system. And all the time American interest rates are higher than ours, there is a natural temptation for the money managers of the world to put a lot of money into dollars and take it out of yen, euro, sterling, and that's what's been happening. You don't want it to go too far because then we have to pay too much for our imports.
Well, that's it. And finally, John, I mean, it was quite a comprehensive mini budget, if you know what I mean, on Friday. But is there anything else that you would like to see the government doing? Because we hear today that perhaps there's going to be more tax cuts. Is there anything else that you would like to see happening?
Well, plenty. And I hope we can have a proper discussion about this morning. I think this is just the starting point. Getting rid of the national insurance surcharge, taking a bit off income tax and tackling the big issue of high energy. Just gets you back into the opportunity of having a bit of growth rather than a slump. But we now need a whole series of measures, deregulations, particular tax incentives, public-private sector partnerships, encouragement of private investment, because we need to rebuild energy self-sufficiency, we need to increase our generating capacity, we need to get more of our own oil and gas out of the ground at a time of international shortage. We need to grow more of our own food. We need to set about restoring some of the badly damaged fortunes of our heavy energy using industries. We need to be encouraging more ships to be built in British shipyards rather than abroad from our MOD programs. We need to have more government procurement working with private sector enterprise as they did over vaccines so that more better paid jobs can be created in Britain by public spending in a competitive market. There are so many things we need to do. I'm desperate for them to get on with it, and I'm delighted that we've now got a government with a sense of urgency and purpose that recognises you need private enterprise, lower taxes, more promotion of growth to get these things happening, because that's what good Conservative policies are all about, energising the private sector, getting the better paid jobs, making sure that when people succeed, when they work hard, when they take risks, they can get some rewards and the state doesn't steal all of it.